Hi folks, now welcome to the Four Seasons Rose Garden here at Cholmondeley. This is a brand new project opening for you guys just now. This has been a process that started way back in 2017. Historically, believe it or not, this was a tennis court, a tarmac tennis court for many years. And it was not a thing of great beauty, I think it's fair to say, being right next door to the old rose garden just over the hedge behind me. So we took the decision in November of 2017 to take the tennis court out with a view to doing something much grander and befitting a garden and estate such as Cholmondeley. And so this is what we've ultimately decided to do. Removal of the tennis court, it took a whole winter period really. Underneath the tarmac there was all kinds of rubbish that had to be dealt with and removed. There was an old chain link fence all the way around the perimeter and a thuya hedge which had been badly damaged over many years with snowfall and winter damage and storms and what have you, which again needed to be removed for aesthetic reasons. So we had to pare the whole area right the way back. Following that we've grassed it over just to turf for a few years while we've been sort of working on the plans for the future. For those of you who know the garden well, will recognise the tempietto behind me here, which we moved from the top of the rockery in the temple garden as a centrepiece for this garden. It was always a little bit of a clash of styles down in the temple garden, because this being a bit more romantic and the rest of the structure down in that part of the garden being a bit more classical in its feel. It's a perfect centrepiece for a rose garden. So that was moved here by our stonemasons in 2021, and then from that point we've used that as the datum for designing the rest of the garden here. We started breaking ground in September of 2022, and it's been quite a process, I can tell you. We still had quite a lot of material that remained from the old tennis courts that had to go, but we've also had quite a few drainage issues in this part of the garden. It's naturally quite wet, there's a lot of clay underneath it, this particular seam of soil as well, so that had to go. So all told, we've handled around 450 tonnes of material, a couple of hundred tonnes going out and a couple of hundred tonnes of better stuff coming back in that are more suited to the roses and the perennials that we've got. So we spent a whole sort of 6 months through the autumn and winter breaking all the ground up here, getting the new drainage system in, putting the subsoil in, the organic layers, the topsoil on top of that, more organic matter because of course roses love that, and then we were sort of ready for planting. So by the time we got to February of 2023, we were ready to start planting. So we got all the roses in, bar a couple of varieties that needed a bit more time to source. We got them all in, and the box hedging which we've used, as you can see, to edge the island beds here through the middle, as well as some box cubes that we've got strategically placed along the perimeter borders. The statues of the Four Seasons, you can just see Winter, Old Man Winter, standing through the other side of the tempietto there. So the statues of the Four Seasons, hence the name for the garden here, and they went in the summer of last year. And then the next thing was the perennials, which we started planting in April of this year, which has been really exciting. The great thing about planting perennials with roses is that it can extend the season, as well as being able to introduce other tones to the colour scheme, like blue for example, which you can't get if you've got a rose garden which is dedicated exclusively to roses.